Hey everybody, it's Cynthia, and I am here to do a solds video. I know it's been ages since I did one of these, but we've had some really great sales lately on some really interesting items. So I wanted to show you what sold, and hopefully you can gain some knowledge from this because that's kind of the point of all this is to teach you how to make your own pop culture profits. And, so like I said, you can boost your own sales. The other reason I want to do this is I watch a lot of eBayers on YouTube, and I find that so many of them, and maybe it's just the ones I'm finding, but so many of them are really clothing focused. Now, we sell a little bit of clothing. You'll see something along in here. We sell what I would call pop culture clothing, which is mostly t-shirts, hoodies, with the occasional vintage item thrown in. But primarily, we sell what most people refer to as hard goods. And especially lately, we used to have a real big load of t-shirts, but in the last few months, our hard goods sales have really gone up. And obviously, there's a lot of downsides to hard goods. They take up a lot of room. They can be more difficult to ship. You have a lot of different shipping profiles with boxes and things. But I just find it so much more enjoyable to search for these items. And they're the same items I like to collect. So that's where we are. And we're going to start right here, which was a great deal in so many ways. And let me tell you why. So this was a lot of Salem's Lot DVDs. Now these are the two TV movies, the 1979 David Soul version and the 2004 Rob Lowe version. And as you can see, even the Rob Lowe version had stickers on it. It was a former rental, not, it was still in great shape. The box was in lousy shape. Here's the story with this. Years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, Salem's Lot was out of print, and you could sell that DVD you see there on the left for close to $100. But it came out again. It was revived by Warner Brothers. Excuse me, yawning. It's really late. And the price dropped. It tanked. It tanked. Now, I love, love, love this movie, and I happen to own two copies of it. And I bought the Rob Lowe version myself at a thrift store. So altogether, I don't know what I paid for these, but I bought them for myself. I recently saw that the movie came out on Blu-ray, which very often even more knocks down the price of these. But I went on and I saw there were so many people selling the old Salem's Lot, and I just didn't know, whether it was even going to be worth listening. There is a point to this story. So what I did is I combined the two. Everybody else was selling one or the other, but I thought if you were a fan, it'd be really fun to own both of them. You can compare them. I honestly had no expectations of it selling, and it sold within days of my putting it up for $14.99. They shipped out for under $3, and considering they were items that I had on my own shelf, what a deal. And the new Blu-ray version was only $8. Can you believe that? On Amazon. So I sold these two and paid for the new Blu-ray version that I really wanted for myself. So the moral here is if you have an item that doesn't sell for much, sometimes lotting it up, but not going crazy, lotting it up with a similar item will help you get the sale over anybody else. And if you have two Salem's Lot, even better. All right, next up we have Daisy Kingdom. Now, I really like to buy doll clothes. I do not like to sell dolls. Doll people, I love you all to death. I used to be a doll collector, but they're fussy. So, um, find in the past I have had a lot of bad luck with the dolls I've sold getting returned for all kinds of fussy reasons, so I try not to sell them. I do love to sell doll clothes. These were an amazing find. So this is a Daisy Kingdom dress. I actually found four of these at an estate sale, and amazing quality clothing. So these will fit an American Girl doll, so you get the idea of the size. That's probably what people are buying them from, is the Daisy Kingdom doll itself isn't that big. Daisy Kingdom, by name, the brand is a good brand. But the quality on these was amazing. The person who was selling them also was selling the doll. I think I said this in a video I made, and they wanted me to pay more if I only bought the clothes than if I bought the doll with the clothes. So I bought the doll. She may end up getting redonated. So this was just one of four. Now, I didn't sell it for 25. The customer actually bought the last two dresses I had and paid a combined $33 for the two of them, which went into one envelope, again, for probably at a max of $4 shipping. They're doll clothes. They don't weigh hardly anything. They just go into a plastic poly mailer. And yeah, got 33. So I probably paid maybe $6 combined for the two dresses, another, 9, 10 in the fees. So I made, what did I just say? I paid 33. I made almost $20, I think, if my math was right, on the two dresses. So doll clothes, good quality doll clothes. Don't pass them up. This is insane. This looks like nothing, and no joke, it sold for the $30. But this is why, right here. I went to an estate sale of a T-shirt printer, the official printer for upstaging, lighting, and transport in Chicago. Um, there were dozens of shirts from all these different tours that this crew lighting upstaging had worked. I did not know that upstaging is like they're the guys. If you're an old school concert fan, like upstaging. These are the roadies that set that stuff up and keep the show literally running. So I bought a bunch of shirts, and right away we listed them, and dozens of them flew out the door for an amazing price. This one actually took a little longer to sell, and when I say longer, I mean like under a month, and still went for $30. So the trick on these, like I said, was the fact that because they're upstaging, it proved they were crew shirts from a tour. Generally, I stay away from tour shirts because there's really hard to tell what's legit and what isn't if you don't really know your business. But these, I knew the provenance on them. I knew where they came from. This was this was amazing. I wish I had bought 100 of these shirts, and I could have. That's what kills me. I could have bought 100, but I didn't because I wasn't sure. And by the time I was sure, there weren't 100 left for me to buy because the estate sale had sold most of them. Next, another thing I buy every time I see them, these damn trolls. This is a vintage 1977 Thomas Dam troll. You can't tell from the picture, but this is one of the larger troll dolls. Considering that it's from the 70s, um, you would think might actually be more valuable. I think I took an offer on this of actually $24.99, but that included shipping, and they are a little bit heavy, so I didn't make as much on this as I might have if she'd been wearing her proper clothing. The outfit she's wearing is not original. The clothing, having the clothing for these trolls makes all the difference. She could have been a $50, $60 troll if I'd had the clothes. I always buy trolls. If you see the small ones, just buy them, lot them up. If you get them at a decent price, you can lot them up and sell them. The bigger ones sell better. Uh, and there's a couple variations on them that you'll see through the years. These are the original 1977s. They are marked that, and I think they're marked Dam, which is which we joke about like that damn troll, but Dam is actually the name of the person or the company that made them in Denmark, I believe. So troll dolls. Did you collect troll dolls? Do you still collect troll dolls? Tell me about any troll doll obsession you might have in the comments. I'd love to know. Next is this little Funko. Now, I didn't make much money on this. As you can see, we sold it for $5, and that included shipping, so, I might have made $1.50 on it. But the reason I'm telling you this is because this was a Funko Pint-Sized Hero, which is a blind box. If you go back in my videos, I think you'll see I did a whole video on blind boxes. If you don't know, these are these little square boxes, and sometimes they're bags that you find at the store that you don't know what's inside. You have a mystery chance of getting different collectible little figure from whatever the theme is. Most, but not all, blind boxes have commons and rares, and there you'll see on the box it'll show you like you have a 1 in 12 chance of getting something or a 1 in 72 chance of getting something. If you hit a 1 in 72 chance, those items can be flipped for $20, $30, $40, $50, no joke. I think I once flipped a horror, I think it might have been Pinhead, but it was a rare little horror. And now these figures I'm talking about are about the size of your thumb or a finger, maybe. No bigger than that. And I think that one sold for like $40, $50 somewhere there. So I love to open blind boxes, and every so often, but really rarely, they pop up at the Goodwill for, I still wouldn't say cheap, but cheaper. Or they're on sale. I'll get them on sale at the store for some reason. So I probably paid $3 or $4 for her, so I didn't make any money technically, but I wanted to open the box and I enjoyed opening the box, and I was actually hoping to find one I wanted to add to my personal collection. When I didn't, I sold her. So I didn't really lose money, and it was, again, kind of like the Salem's Lot. It was a personal item that I was able to flip. So keep that in mind again, too. If you buy these blind boxes, you're getting doubles. Flip them on eBay. They, almost all of them sell. It's amazing. They all sell. Ah, speaking of doll clothes, I should have put these in a different order. This is another set of doll clothes I bought that was so cool, and I wish I'd given you the other picture. I actually found two of these. They're called Summers and Field Mod British Birds dolls, and these they were not made in England. They were made here in the U.S. They were actually made locally to me in Southern California, but the doll was designed to look like she was from the era in the 60s. This was my favorite outfit. I found two of these at this estate sale. This one was so mod and 60s and great. The other outfit I didn't think was as cool, and the box in the other one was damaged. So I put them both up thinking this one was going to just jump right out the door, and the other one I was going to have trouble selling. But the other one sold within days. This one stuck around a little bit longer. I think we took an offer on this. I think we ended up going at 24. It's so weird why eBay sometimes shows the offer price and sometimes doesn't. I think that guy sold this for about 24. It did come in a big box, so shipping, which was included, cost a little more than doll clothes normally do because of the bulk of the box. But still, I easily made about $10, $15 profit on this because I think I paid $2 or $3 a piece for them. I'm not sure because, again, I get combined prices when I'm at an estate sale, so somewhere in that vicinity. But I'd never seen these before, and they're cool. If you see them, especially boxed like this, buy them. They're worth it. Um, so the next couple of things I'm going to show you are, again, fall into the category of take a chance or use your instincts, however you want to call it. This is one of these crazy things that I bought, again, too, thinking this is probably never going to sell, and it sold. Well, I'll tell you in a minute. So I went to an estate sale that had some amazing items that I haven't even listed yet. I'm so bad. A bunch of music boxes, Disney music boxes. I went back on the second day hoping to get more, but they were really cleaned out. And once I'm on the second day or third day, even sometimes on the same estate sale, yes, I go back to the same sales, I start digging a little deeper because now I've already gone past the surface of stuff. So there was a library full of books, and there was a drawer unit that was just stuffed with paper. And I really like paper. So I just kind of poked around and I found a bunch of Disney brochures from a few years back, actually pre-Star Tours, so more than a few years back. And I found this set. Now, this was the Vacation Village Hotel in San Diego, and it was very tiki looking, all this Polynesian stuff, but it was San Diego. And it wasn't Hawaii. We do well selling a lot of this kind of stuff from Hawaii. I threw it in my bag, and honestly, I almost left it because I couldn't find anything else, and I thought, oh, I'm going to stand in line to buy, these bits of paper for $1. But I ended up finding a few other things to buy, so I ended up buying them. I can't even tell you literally what I paid for this, maybe 50 cents in the end, again, by dividing up everything that was in my bag. I put it up, and less than an hour after I put it up, somebody bought it. They did not even make me an offer. They bought it for the $15.99. And it was paper. It cost almost nothing to ship. I think it stayed here in California. So I'd say easily, again, $10 profit, if not more, on some papers. And you can even see there's a stain on the right above the word private dining. So somebody spilled their coffee on it. but somebody was really anxious to have it, probably because of the Don the Beachcomber tie-in. I believe that restaurant's not there anymore. So, yeah, I took a chance on something that just looked cool to me, and it sold. This was a real step out of my comfort zone. I normally do not buy housewares of this type again, unless they're pop culture, if this had been a set of Simpson silverware. But once again, I was at an estate sale. I wasn't finding much. I hate leaving empty-handed. And I saw this estate sale had gorgeous set of actual Fiesta ware. And I would have loved to have owned it, but I have no room for it. And man, he would have made me a deal. I was so tempted to buy it. So the silverware went along with the Fiesta ware. The colors were so cool. There was actually 3 colors. There was this yellow, a blue, and like a dusty pink. And I thought he was probably not going to sell them to me because I assumed he wanted it to go together with all the actual dinnerware. But he said, no, I'll sell it separately. And so I bought, I don't even know what I paid. I want to say I paid less than $10 because I probably wouldn't have spent more for all the silverware, not just what you see here, but all the sets. Plus there was a bunch of serving spoons. It was quite a bit. And I'd never sold this before, so I was, taking a real chance. Didn't know. I put this Fiestaware out there. I sold the serving set right away. I think the pink set went next, and this was the biggest set I had. Went next, and again, I don't think it went for the full 45. I want to say it went for 35. We did have to take shipping out of that, and it was quite heavy because this silverware probably cost 10 to 15 to ship it because it had to go priority mail. I think it went to, actually, I take that back. I think we got into a padded flat rate envelope, which is $6. So we didn't do too badly there. And off it went. Fiestaware, I picked it up because of the design. It was so retro looking to me that I thought, why not give it a try? And I'm so glad I did because we did really well with it. Would I buy more silverware of other kinds? Probably not, but it was a fun little thing to try separately. A couple more to show you. Whoop, that's a nothing. This is very interesting and for 2 different reasons. So this is a Steve McQueen Troy Lee Designs t-shirt. We had several of these from, I think more than a year ago. We found them at Goodwill. My husband kept one. We sold one. He wanted to keep them both. But they were selling for like $30. So t-shirts, just plain t-shirt. And we assumed it was the Steve McQueen motorcycle tie-in that really sold it. So when I saw this one, it actually had this really nice, it's got this really nice trim on it. It's a beautiful shirt, but it is kind of an unusual color. I wasn't sure if it was going to really be popular. I looked, and this time around, Steve McQueen Troy Lee shirts weren't selling for that much. So I thought, well, I won't go crazy. I'll just put it up at $14.99, which is kind of my average price for selling a t-shirt. And it sold within like hours. So, maybe it could have got a little bit more. But here's what's interesting. I found today at the Goodwill a Troy Lee Designs racing shirt. Nothing to do with Steve McQueen. Excuse me. I looked that up and found out there is a real market for Troy Lee Designs racing. So I started to think that maybe all this time I thought that the Steve McQueen part was the draw on this shirt, when the reality is it's the Troy Lee Designs part, or maybe it's probably a combination. But the moral of this is, if you see these Steve McQueen shirts, if you see Troy Lee Design shirts, they have value. Minimally, they've got a $15 value in good shape, and some of them, as I said, went up into $30 range. So keep an eye on for both that. It's really easy to spot the logo. Looks like that. And of course, Steve McQueen. That was the reason we bought it in the first place, because, hey, Steve McQueen's on there. Okay. This is another sort of a be on the lookout for you, a bolo, as they say. Not specifically this, but basically what this type of item is. So this is a fabric panel, Um, what these are pre-printed pieces of fabric. They're usually, they're not that large. And what they're designed for you to cut out the shape, sew it together, and then stuff it with polyfill, and you have yourself a 3D figure, whatever. So in this case, you would have this pumpkin cat and this witch. So this is a picture of actually what it looks like when it's done. I'm pointing like you can see me. That's what it looks like when you cut it out. There's the pumpkin you cut out. So these panels come in lots of different types. I, gosh, a month and a half or more ago, I went to a sale where I bought hundreds and hundreds of patterns. But in pulling out the patterns, luckily he said, I'll take the fabric too. And in the fabric were about 10 or 12 of these fabric panels. So there was a couple of Halloween, there was mostly Christmas, there was some just whale stuff, whale patterns. And they have been selling very, very quickly. Sorry, it's weird. I heard something and it's very late at night. Um, I think we only have one left. If that, we might have actually sold them all out in, again, weeks of putting them up, including this Halloween one that just sold. So again, it's March and people are buying Halloween. I sold the Christmas ones last week. So it doesn't matter what time of year it is. If it's especially in craft projects, people want to make them now for later. It did only sell for $10 with free shipping. Some of the other ones I think we sold for $12.50 with free shipping. But again, remember, this is a very thin piece of fabric. It probably shipped out for about $2.50, and it probably cost me about 50 cents. So easy to put up, quick pictures, so easy to store because it's just a piece of fabric, easy to ship, nothing to break. $10, I'll take $10 on these all day long. So fabric panels, I don't care what they are. If you see any of these cut out panels, buy them. Two last things to sell you. These were our big sales of the week. This was my favorite. The estate sale where I found the village, the Value Village, sorry, that's my thrift shop coming through. The estate sale where I found the Disney figurines, the Disney music boxes. Also, the person was a big Wizard of Oz collector. There were 3 Wizard of Oz Franklin Mint figurines. So this is about like 3 or 4 inches tall. Again, it's hard to tell in the picture. Um, I had been in this house previously, and I know they had the full set, but somebody had bought up all of the main characters. What was left was the Flying Monkey, Miss Gulch, and Professor Marvel. Um, because it was just the 3 left, I got a really good deal on them. They were in very nice condition. Thank God that they had been well taken care of because some of the other things in the house had gotten tossed about, but these were in good shape. And within, again, hours of putting it up, someone who had one or had bought one, but the wings broke, was really excited to buy it. And so we were very excited to get it to someone who had a collection and really needed this piece to finish their collection. I, I know it's going to sound silly, but that's one of the things I really love about doing what I do is matching up these wayward items with people who really want them. Because who knows where this would have ended up if I hadn't bought it. But it ended up in the collection of somebody who really wanted this flying monkey. So we paid $35 and we packed it quite securely. We did send it out priority mail because we knew that the previous ones, not from us, but previous ones had broken. So we wanted to assure the client that he was going to get it, and he did. Got it in beautiful condition, and everybody was very happy. So, moral of this is a lot of mint collectibles are not worth anything. So don't just buy up everything Franklin Mint. And what's really funny, am I even saying that out loud? My father worked for Franklin Mint for years and years and years. He worked for that company, so it's a very familiar company to me. These Wizard of Oz figurines from Franklin Mint do very well. Some more than others, but if you can find them in good shape at a reasonable price, absolutely, they're super, and you'll be able to flip them. And there are other things. This house had tons of those crazy plates, the kind I mean, the Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind and all those pummel plates, But those, I would not touch. Those things I'm not saying there aren't any that are worth any money, but they are hard to flip. This was a no-brainer. It was small, it was easy, and like I said, even if they'd been worth $15 a piece, they would have been worth grabbing. So, Wizard of Oz, Flying Monkey figure. And the final item was the craziest thing this week. Yes, that says $50. This is a Ralph Lauren home collection brochure spring catalog. Now, I will be honest with you, I think we took an offer of $40. This is a very thin but well-made catalog that was from the Ralph Lauren home collection at our local high-end mall that I live near. It had a little bit of damage on the corner. These things apparently are quite hard to come by, and for whatever reason, they're highly collectible. People were paying $40, $50, $60, $70 for these catalogs from different years. I don't know why, but they want them. They're very sought after. I grabbed this again on a lark. I was going through magazines at a estate sale. I saw this. I thought it looked interesting. It was really heavy duty made. I thought, why not? Threw it in the bag. I probably get, who knows how much for it? Not much, because they usually don't charge much for magazines, which this was considered. And it was a $40 flip. What do you know? So basically what I'm telling you is everything has a value. That's not true. Um, so be on the lookout for Ralph Lauren home collection catalogs. I don't think Ralph Lauren, even if there are regular Ralph Lauren clothing catalogs do, so it's this home collection one that people really want, and yeah, they buy them up. So that's it. That's what I've got to show you for today. I should do another haul video for you guys because I have so much. I have really been dedicating myself this past week to doing more thrifting and just trying some new items, bringing in new things. We did get a lot of t-shirts this week. What else have I got around here? Oh my gosh, so many things. I bought a whole thing of magnets today. I can't resist magnets. Fabric. I got Star Wars fabric and Wonder Woman fabric. All kinds of things. So, um, yeah, hopefully I'll have another haul video for you soon. But I hope this video was really helpful to you, and I hope that you got some ideas of things to look for while you're out shopping, or just some general categories, or just to generally feel inspired to go out on your own treasure hunt and find some pop culture treasures so you too can make pop culture profits. I will see you next time.